Hi, welcome to Galesburg.com Sports Talk. I'm Zack Creglow, the assistant sports editor at the Register Mail. With me this week is Coach Mike Reynolds of the Galesburg boys basketball team. First, Coach, thanks for joining us this week.
No problem. Thanks a lot.
You came here in mid-April. First game's over with, or first week's over with. What did you learn about your team that you necessarily didn't know in the summertime?
Well, I think we just gotta continue to get better. We're still a little bit behind on some key issues, and we're trying to, as the weeks progress, as we get into conference season and holiday tournament time, just kind of fine tune some things we already have in, and not try to expand our game too much. Just kind of fine tune what we have in and go from there.
You had to feel pretty good. You went up there, and the teams you were playing, you could kind of tell had been together longer, were a little more polished. And you left there with a 2-1 record. You defeated a pretty scrappy Chatham-Glenwood team Saturday night, beat Dunlap on Friday, and of course lost to Morton, the eventual champion, on Saturday. But what were some positives that you brought out this weekend?
Well, I think we were able to win some games, which is which means that our message is coming across a little bit. I thought for the most part we played extremely hard, and our defense was pretty solid for most of the three games. Against Morton, we had some hiccups a little bit. It was a little frustrating time for the team and myself, and but we got past that and went on to Glenwood. Glenwood's in a good conference. They're going to play Lincoln, and they're going to play Southeast and Springfield. They understand how to play good teams, and they're a good team themselves. And we saw three different styles of basketball, which is good heading into the conference season.
And something you're wanting to see with this team was how would they respond to adversity. I think Morton, some things didn't go their way, and it kind of got away from you. Of course, that could be attributed to Morton being a pretty good team. But you came back against Chatham-Glenwood, which is a pretty scrappy team that you're talking about, and you guys responded, and it was a tough, gritty game throughout, and you pulled ahead late there. Yeah,
it was second game of 2 games in a day, and that's always tough for kids, especially when you've lost the first game, and we lost to a good Morton team. They did a lot of things to frustrate us. We didn't do some very smart things, and they played extremely well. We'd hope sometime down the road we get to play them again, but it was nice to see the kids come back against Chatham and kind of gut it out and fight through some things, and we had a little adversity there, and we played a lot better in the second game of the day.
And what were you liking to see? I mean, a little more of it seemed going into the weekend. I think everyone thought, including myself and you, that the front court is pretty well established and the back court is kind of fluid. And I think after the weekend, I think it was easy to say that maybe the back court outperformed the front court there. How are you looking for a little more production out of your big guys up front?
Well, a little bit. Production's relative depending on who you play. I think the 3 teams that we played had pretty good front courts also. So, especially on Saturday, it was a guards game. The guards had to come and perform at a high level, and I think they did that, especially in the second game. Chatham had 2 very big and athletic post players themselves, and Morton had 6'7", 6'5", 6'5". They had a lot of athletes out there. So we need our guards to perform, and it's going to be the same thing as we get into conference season. We're going to need guards to perform, and we're going to need our post players to perform. And some teams have really good guards, some teams have really good post players. We're trying to develop both areas right now.
Well, it's not going to get any easier this weekend. You got Rocky, and you got Metamora. Rocky, of course, one of the top 5 ranked teams in the state, and potentially 2 Division I recruits in Chason Randall and Brandon Pullman. Just talk about this weekend's matchups a little bit.
Well, I think we get into the conference season. We jump right in. We want to play Rock Island at Rock Island. They're trying to atone for a little less than productive season, as they would put it. In some of their quotes and articles, and they're trying to atone. I think one article said they want to go 32-0, which is quite a high goal, but they've got the talent to do it. And I think it's going to be a tall test for anybody to go into Rock Island and win. We want to go there and make sure that we're playing our A game. I think we had some quarters of our A game. During the weekend, we want to go and make sure we're playing the A game. Obviously, they've got some good players. Their strength is in their sophomore class also. They got Chason, who's obviously been offered a number of Division I scholarships. Pullman is another guy, 6'6" wing player that we actually match up with pretty well with Tanner and Victor and some other guys. But we got to bring our A defensive game, and it comes down to, in basketball, you got to make some shots. And they're a good offensive, explosive team, and we're going to have to match them defensively and offensively.
And talking to some of the kids after this weekend in the hallway, they think they can play with Rocky. I mean, they beat them last year in this game, beat them in overtime. They had some confidence going in against these guys.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Rocky's a different animal. When you get into conference, it's a different deal. we've the kids have played against Rock Island a number of times, and they've had some success against Rock Island, and I expect that we'll come and fight and play hard, and if we follow our plan and things, we think we'll be right in there at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. And with Metamora, you weren't sliding them this weekend when we were talking about. You thought they were going to be a very, very formidable foe there.
Well, they were undefeated until last night. We went and scouted them last night, and they lost to a Woodruff team who's also 6-0 now. So they've played some good teams, and they've got big kids too. They got 6'5", 6'6", 6'9". So they've got some players up there and some athletes, and they're getting some of their football players rounded back into shape. So we expect to have one of our toughest weekends of the year, to be honest with you. Right off the bat, which we have an undefeated, third-ranked Rock Island team and a Metamora team that's only lost one. So we're expecting both games to be a fight.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be tough, I think, to come out of that 2-0. I think, you're probably looking at just progression here. What do you want to see from your kids after this weekend?
Well, I think we got to take steps forwards. We think we took some steps backwards Saturday morning. We want to take steps forwards. We want to handle the ball a little better. We want to shoot the ball a little better. As our system grows and things, we want to be able to run a little more effectively.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of hodgepodge. We had to shoot some guys in some different spots because of foul trouble. But by the end of the season, that's going to be a good thing, because then we'll be ready to go. So we just got to keep taking steps forward. We hope that results in wins, obviously, because we're putting a lot of time and effort into it. But we know that by the end of the season, we want to be playing important Friday night games, and important Friday night games means we're in contention in the Big Six. And the real important Friday night game is that we're playing, at home here for the regional championship, and that's kind of what we're focusing ourselves on right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you just told me an interesting thing about 5 minutes ago, and I'll let you plug it here with your first home opener next Friday. You guys got something interesting going on.
Yeah, we're going to have a handout. We're going to hand out 500 free T-shirts. It's going to be called the Whiteout of Thiel. We have 4 businesses, sponsor it: Dr. Kane and Dr. Garnett, Cottage Hospital, and Cottage Sports and Rehab. So we've got 4 good sponsors, and we've got enough money to donate, be able to hand out 500 free T-shirts. So we want everybody to wear white. And when the Panthers of UT come here in a week, they've lost 1 game, but they're pretty loaded coming back too, and we want to kind of give them and show them what our atmosphere is going to be like here at Thiel this year. So we're excited about that.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us, and thank you for joining us at Galesburg.com Sports Talk.